Hey everyone, welcome back. So today we're just outside our hotel at Nick Hotel. We're just waiting to go on our big tour with, we don't normally do tours, but this one is definitely one that we thought we should do. So it's an all-day tour really. It's about 150 bucks Australian each, so not super cheap, but it's all day. So first off, we get picked up from our hotel, which is great, because in Tulum, you know, transport can be your hotel can be out a bit, so it's a bit of an issue to get into any meeting spots. So that's good. We get picked up. We're about to get picked up, and then we're off to some ruins, some temple ruins that are not far outside of Tulum, which is great. From there, I'm pretty sure we go to maybe Akumal and do some snorkeling. In theory, they're trying to say that if you're in the right spot at the right time, not promising anything, but over some turtles. It's a turtle area, you know, a bit of a turtle bay kind of thing. So that'll be cool if we do that. My understanding is from there we go somewhere and have traditional Mexican cuisine. So that will be pretty amazing. Comida de Mexico. Thanks, Crues. Some mosquitoes out already. Tip in Tulum, bring heaps of mosquito repellent cream and spray and everything. You know, when you think you've packed enough, pack some more, because there's heaps here. So from there, so lunch is included, so that's pretty cool. And then we're off to a couple of cenotes, which are the big sort of, you know, cave style. Well, one cenote, as Selena says, so it must be a pretty big one we get to go to. A couple of things, cenotes, depends on how high they let you jump in, so that'll be interesting. OH and S is a little bit different in this country, so it might be fun. Yeah, because you swim in them, and the water is fairly cold, is what they tell us, which is good because it's like always 30 degrees-ish, 30 degrees plus out here. So a couple other tips, they've told us to wear water-style shoes, so we got our joggers on, expect them to fully get wet when we go and do something. I'm assuming that might be with the snorkeling, or you might have to walk through some caves or down to the cenotes, something like that. Anyway, we'll soon find out. This is going to be pretty exciting. So it's first day in Tulum, and we just want to knock this one over before we start doing some other, you know, just little bits and pieces, going to find some gyms and food and things through the week. All right, the bus is about here, you guys, and we'll make sure you come and join us. Talk to you soon.
Tal vez cerca de un avión ahorita, pero caminar de Guatemala es cerca. ¿En dónde quieres?
Hey guys, welcome back. So our bus tour just basically landed at the big main Tulum ruins, the old Tulum city. Wow, really amazing. I didn't do any, I guess, research into what this was, and I think that's probably a good way to do it if you listen. Our tour guide was amazing, and he explained about how the city was walled off. It was a trading city in reality, but it wasn't just a trading port. The way they built it, with all the exact measurements, like the walls apart were 365 meters or measurements, which was equal to 365 days in our calendar, but also the Mayan calendar. And it was amazing to see where on some of the structures, especially the big temple up behind me, where there's certain, I guess what you'd call windows, but really they're little sun holes to come in and exactly at the right time mark the solstice points in our calendar, in our cycle, which is, obviously the longest day in the year, the shortest day in the year. And, there's only a few places in the world that do that sort of thing. Stonehenge is probably the other one. There's some other ones, I guess, with the Incas and also in Egypt. So past civilizations that were probably more intelligent than us, in fact. Everything was built around, the cycle of the sun and the moon. And there's a lot of things that were based upon those 28 steps up to one of the temples, signifying 28 days in a cycle of the moon. And that also represented, life, death, and even fertility for women. So that was so much significance in relation to celestial measurements in the Mayan culture. And it's just incredible. Look, if you're going to come you have to come to Tulum, even if you don't want to hang out at Tulum, just for a couple of days just to see this site. I really do recommend it. It was, the whole tour of our day is pretty cheap for what it really is. I mean, it's built in about the 1200s, so it's like 800, 900 years old. It's pretty crazy, and I just think it's amazing to remind ourselves that, I think, just because we believe that we're the smartest people that have ever inhabited the earth, and I don't know anymore. I tend to disagree. One of the things that always sticks with me is basically what I would say is the smartest people of the time, or the scientists of the time, the ones that were pretty much astronomers and could, pick measurements of moon, stars and everything right down to the exact millimeter to build a building around that and have it come in on the sunlight come in on the one day, even to the right hour of the year. It was just amazing. But back then, in those times, the smartest people, who were the scientists and the astrologers, were also the most spiritual. And so those two things were together. Where I believe today the smartest people and the astronomers and astrologers are the most non-spiritual. I think there's a big disconnect, and I don't know if that's where we're having problems in the world at the moment. But I come back and see there was some really smart people, but they were super spiritual in relation to everything that was going on in the stars and the world. Maybe that's an indication of some things that we could kind of reverse. Anyway, guys, look, we're going to go and do some exploring. I'm going to take some good photos here. There's some iguanas everywhere. So it's pretty crazy. Then we're going to race back, hop on the bus, and we're off to do some snorkeling with the sea turtle. So this will be what a good day. I'll talk to you soon. See ya. Yeah, wow, cool.
They're doing well, no? And
Yeah.
Shazam, the problem is over. They're actually very close. So town is on the other side. We're heading to the shore area, guys. In 1 minute we'll be there.
for effect. Hi everyone, so we just finished our snorkeling with the turtles. So we weren't allowed to take our cameras in, which is a bit of a bugger. And a couple of reasons for that. One is you just dump your stuff on the beach, get your life jacket on and get into the water. The other one is there's a guy in there with a special camera and he wants to sell you photos later on down the track. We'll probably get some of those. Some turtles did come up to us. Water clarity wasn't amazing. It was probably about a metre and a half. Few fish, saw 3 different turtles come up. They come up pretty close, so it was pretty cool. Not a bad little area to go and do. Then basically what happens is we go in to have a Mayan traditional lunch. Now this is pretty different, right? So it is about a good 30 minutes into the jungle, and I mean the jungle. There is just like it should be a 4-wheel drive track. Tour buses have been like navigating this thing, and it's all kind of like this. Starting to rain. We are in like really in the middle of nowhere. There is no electricity. There's heaps of tour buses here though. There's some traditional Mayan food going on, like they've been cooking barbecues for 14 hours in banana leaves and stuff. So we're gonna go over, we're gonna have a feed, we're gonna get told where to sit, and they're doing a buffet style. So we're gonna sit down and try and work out what the Mayan lunch is, and we're gonna hook into it. But yeah, just, it's been a crazy day. All right, we'll talk to you soon. See ya.
The 4 table here, guys.
Where are they, are we?
Thank you.
No corn. Really? I'm having everything. Okay, so here's all the traditional Mayan food, cooked on gas or a big bloody camp oven style. I think it's been going in. They're saying been cooking some of the meat for like 14 hours in banana leaves, probably hangi style, I'm assuming. So this is really cool. Hola. Okay. See? Yes, see? Oh, on top's okay. Yep, gracias. Yes, see? I'm actually going to try everything. See? I'm going for everything. Oh, so it's okay. This one, let's have a look at this one. So you got pasta, rice with beans. This one looks like a bit of a pickled corn kind of thing. I'm not sure yet. That'll be really interesting.
Tomato and chicken cream and mushroom. In tortilla?
Tortilla?
More bien. Okay, 2. Tomato?
Yes.
Where are you from?
Australia.
Australia.
Okay.
Nice rice you have. Hi. You?
I have one of that and one of that one.
What's the other one, Selena?
Chicken mushroom.
Ooh.
Tomato, pork. So
Sorry?
3. Pork, chicken tomato, and chicken mushroom.
You're right, I am going to want all 3. Absolutely, I want to try them all.
Lovely.
Quick, up to the table, crew. Yeah, guys, wow, I just finished lunch. The chicken and mushroom traditional taco. I don't know how traditional that is, but anyway, it's pretty amazing. Look, basically we're miles from anywhere in the middle of the jungle in a campsite, and it's just torrential rain. I don't know how much you can see there. It's bucketing down here. Got my hibiscus drink. It's bucketing down, and we're supposed to be going to a cenote in a cave very soon. We're going to put on some rubber shoes and get going in there. Yeah, it's well, you can hear it, and I reckon that we're going to have trouble getting out of the jungle because getting in was tough, and the roads were really bad, and it should only be a big 4-wheel drive. On a tour bus, we're like, okay, and anyway, maybe we'll be. Thanks, Selena. On camera, maybe we'll be walking out, but look, it would be a 9-hour walk out of here. So anyway, I'm sure we won't be. But yeah, Caribbean, rains, buckets down in the afternoons, and everyone around here is just like, nah, whatever. At our big camp rec site. So cool. All right, we'll keep you posted at the cenote. See ya. Okay, Crues just having a relax on the swing after a cenote.
Alright guys, so we've just got home from our tour today. So picked up at 9:15 and headed to the Tulum ruins. Great history about the walls and being on the water. It's one of the only ruins in Mexico that's actually on the water. So that was really interesting to hear about that. It was hearing about all the astrology that's used, that when they built those buildings so many years ago without technology, and yet they knew so much from the stars, the sun, the moon. 365 metres long, so it lined up with our days of our year. 28 steps to the main castle, which lines up with the female systems, what we have every month. It lines up with the months. It's amazing what they thought about back in those days. Interesting enough though, crew could understand about the little windows that were in the castles that lined up with the moon and the sun from watching Dora the Explorer. So it actually shows it in movies about these ruins and how years ago the astrology and the moon and the sun were used for dates and longest day of the year, the shortest. It's absolutely amazing that crew could reference the Dora movie in line with what he learnt at the actual ruins today. So, you know what? Kids learn lessons in movies that we probably don't notice, and it's not until that it's brought to fruition that here we are at a ruin talking about it, that they go, oh, I know about this. I learnt this in Dora the Explorer movie. So he really enjoyed it. Even though it's the bottom one of his list, he did actually enjoy it. So I think we could have spent a lot more time there, but I understand why we didn't. We saw the main parts, we saw the port where they used to do their trading. So there's a part of the beach you cannot go on to now. You used to be able to, but now you can't due to the sea turtles laying their hatchlings there. So we're now not allowed to go onto that beach for that reason, because they want the turtles to keep coming back and laying their eggs. So from Tulum ruins we moved on to Akumal. So Akumal is where we got to swim with the sea turtles. So snorkeling, so we got out, we got down to the beach, got on a boat, didn't go too far out, very controlled. You're not allowed to drop your legs down to knock the marine biology that happens at the bottom of the ocean. They really look after their biology and their systems that are happening here. They even have rangers out in canoes watching you. If you do the wrong thing, you can get fined. So make sure you listen to your tour guide in regards to that. So really good. Crute was a bit nervous when we first got in the water, but as soon as he realised about the ease of breathing, the ease of floating, he thoroughly enjoyed it. I was always a bit concerned about Scotty. Scotty doesn't do real well with his breathing, and he's not a strong swimmer, interesting enough. So whereas I just absolutely loved it, I wanted to get my scuba gear on and scuba dive because it was just awesome. So made me realise how much I miss the ocean and I miss my scuba diving. But we got to see about 3 turtles, lots of fish, electric stingray, other stingrays. Look, I reckon we were in the water for probably an hour to just over an hour. It's not amazingly deep. She did tell me the visibility was going to be 3 metres. It definitely wasn't 3 metres. From my diving experience, that was not 3 metres. It was lucky to be 1 metre. But look, saw some great things. Crew absolutely loved it. You know what though? There's just so many tourists there. I actually really feel sorry for the marine life. Like, you know, we just overdo it sometimes, I think. So, but it's great to see the rangers there controlling the people in the water. So it's about, you know, keeping the animals safe. We always had to be a metre away from the turtles if we could. If they came near us, that was their problem, but we had to try and stay away because they have to come up and breathe. So look, great. I would recommend anyone to swim with the sea turtles anywhere they are. So really good. So we finished there, got on the bus and headed to the cenotes. So got out there and we sat down to have our lunch, and of course it poured down rain. So it's been an overcast day all day today, which is fine because swimming with the turtles was not hot and sunburned because you actually can't put sunscreen on because of the chemicals in the sunscreen and they don't want to affect the turtles. So I think that's really amazing that they do that, whereas we slather it on in Australia and swim with the animals. And so it bucketed down. So we finished eating, had hibiscus water, which was really nice, apparently very good for women's stomachs and things like that, just to settle their intestines and things like that. So I've learnt something today about hibiscus water. Look, it was raining so much they decided to drive us to the entrance of the cenotes, whereas usually you would walk. It's about a 10-minute walk, but they actually put us in the van and drove us down. Look, wasn't what I was expecting, but you know what? It was probably better than what I expected. I expected just a hole in the ground with water, and we jumped in and saw some stalactites and stalagmites. Sorry, Crew tells me all about them in Minecraft, but no, it was a full-on walkable cave where we went into the water, out of the water, saw bats, saw your catfish swimming, saw the root systems of trees, learned a lot about bottle trees. So the Mayan people rely on the bottle trees to show them where the water is. And these bottle trees, there's usually a big one near a cenote. Apparently this is a common thing near them. Look, water was quite fresh, but really nice. They've done it up really nicely in this cave. There's lighting, but not too much lighting. Look, absolutely amazing experience to go in and see how the world formed years ago, that it's all still there. We haven't ruined it here in Mexico. We've actually kept it and we actually look after it. The drive in to the cenotes was absolutely amazing. It was so long. I never realised from the highway to something like that would take so long. The housing on the way in was very interesting. They are happy people living in just a very basic lifestyle and house. So, but look, really great. Look, we've only seen one. There's apparently a ton of cenotes around here, but I will say we're in Tulum. Very expensive. I've heard the cenotes tours here are really expensive, whereas in Merida, your cenotes are not so dear. So we'll probably do a few more back there. But look, you know what? I'm glad we did today. We hopefully will put some photos up of today. It was a really great experience, and I think a really good experience for the crew in history and science and marine biology a bit today. So I think we forget our kids sometimes can pick up some amazing things from these things that we don't see at all. So highly recommend doing things like this with our children. It shows them about a different ecosystem that we don't even think about in Australia because we don't see this sort of thing. I suppose it's a bit like the glowworm caves. I've never done them, but very similar, I think. So look guys, highly recommend. It wasn't cheap, but what tours are these days? Shirts for $70 each, but you know what? That's where they get their money and they make their money, and it's a tour. And you know what? They know we spend money on our tours. So look, it's worth every cent when you get the experience out of it that I think we got out of it today. So thoroughly enjoyed it, thoroughly recommend it. Ocean Tours was the tours we used, tour company. The tour guide was really great, the bus driver was lovely. We got snacks, we got drinks. Look, I thought it was a really good day and I've had a great day. So look guys, that's our day today. It was great. We'll talk to you soon.